What you are about to see is a meltdown of epic proportions. Ted Cruz is getting ready to go all in on Donald Trump. And I mean, he is going to go completely all in. He's going to hit the venereal disease card. He's going to hit the infidelity card. He's going to hit every card that he can. And to me, those are the symptoms of a guy who knows that he's done. And he's just letting everything go at this point. You know, it's beyond a Hail Mary. The Hail Mary was he teaming up with Kasich to allow him to go after Indiana, and then naming Carly Fiorina as the person he will run with as his vice president. But this is epic, epic. Where was this guy back in January when all the other candidates were sending fire towards Donald Trump, including his vice presidential running mate? He was nowhere to be found. He kept his head down and let everybody else attempt to rain fire down on Trump, and Trump knocked them out. So his strategy of being the last person standing and then going after Trump is an utter and absolute failure. Here you go with his meltdown.
Terrified by strong women, he lashes out at them. Remember, this is the same Donald Trump who last week here in Indiana proudly touted the endorsement from Mike Tyson, a convicted rapist who served 3 years in prison here in Indiana for raping a 17-year-old girl.
He didn't rape her.
And in Donald's world, he said Mike Tyson was a tough guy. I don't think rapists are tough guys. I spent a lot of years in law enforcement dealing with rapists.
I agree with you. Rapists aren't tough guys, but Mike Tyson wasn't a rapist, and Mike Tyson was a tough guy.
They are weak, they are cowards, and they're bullies. And anyone that thinks they're a tough guy, that reveals everything about Donald Trump's character. Donald Trump said Bill Clinton was targeted by unattractive women. You know what? I've been blessed to be surrounded by strong women my entire life. Today is voting day here in Indiana. The President of the United States has a bully pulpit unlike anybody else. The President of the United States affects our culture. I ask the people of Indiana, think about the next 5 years. If this man were to become president, think about...
Why did he say 5 years instead of 4 years?
About the next 5 years, the boasting, the pathological lying, the picking up the National Enquirer and accusing people of killing JFK, the bullying. Think about your kids coming back and emulating this. For people in Indiana who long for a day when we were nice to each other, when we treated people with respect.
Yeah, unlike how you deal with President Obama, you show him no respect whatsoever. So that's kind of like the pot calling the kettle black.
When we didn't engage in sleaze and lies, and I would note one of the lies he engages in, listen, Donald Trump is a serial philanderer, and he boasts about it. This is not a secret. He's proud of being a serial philanderer. I want everyone to think about your teenage kids. The President of the United States talks about how great it is to commit adultery, how proud he is.
Oh, he pulled the adultery card. Just another indication of the desperation.
Describes his battles with venereal disease as his own personal...
Oh, venereal disease.
That's a quote, by the way, on the Howard Stern show. Do you want to spend the next 5 years with your kids bragging about infidelity? Now, what does he do? He does the same projection, just like a pathological liar. He accuses everyone of lying. Even though he boasts about his infidelity, he plants in David Pecker's National Enquirer a lie about me and my family, attacking my family. He accuses others of doing what he is doing.
I just wish those 5 women that you were accused of, at least one of them would step forward and say, yeah, I screwed Ted Cruz. That would be flipping great. Maybe they're waiting for you to get the nomination before they step forward. So I guess they're not going to be able to, because you're not going to get it.
I'll tell you, as the father of 2 young girls, the idea of our daughters coming home and repeating any word that man says horrifies me. That is not who America is. And I would say to the Hoosier State, the entire country is depending on you. The entire country is looking to you right now. It is only Indiana that can pull us back.
Begging Ted.
It is only the good sense and good judgment of Indiana that can pull us back. We are staring at the abyss. And I have incredible faith in Hoosiers.
Why isn't your message resonating with people here then? If you were up 2 weeks ago, Trump is up 15 points now, you're saying all these things about him.
Mainstream media is doing everything they can to convince Hoosiers this race is over. So they only report on the poll showing Donald up. You don't report on the poll showing me up.
Which poll showed you up?
There was a poll just 3 days ago here in Indiana that was done that showed me up by double digits. But listen, there is also a broader dynamic.
That's true, though. There was one private poll that did show him up, like I believe it was either 11 or 13 points. But that poll was an outlier. Every other poll showed Trump up by in the vicinity of 9 to 15 points.
There is a broader dynamic at work, which is network executives have made a decision to get behind Donald Trump. Rupert Murdoch and Roger Ailes at Fox News have turned Fox News into the Donald Trump network.
Yeah, and your boy Sean Hannity's jumped ship on your ass too, because he used to have his head up your ass, but now it looks like he pulled it out, and they're basically shifted direction over to Trump. And I know you're crying about that one, because Fox News was one of your main allies when you were at the beginning of this campaign, all the way through the debates. But now the handwriting's on the wall, and they're jumping ship like rats from a sinking ship.
24/7. Now, Rupert Murdoch is used to picking world leaders in Australia and the United Kingdom, running tabloids. And we're seeing it here at home with the consequences for this nation. Media executives are trying to convince Hoosiers, trying to convince Americans the race is decided. You have no choice. You are stuck between Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton, either one of which is a horrific choice for this country. And I will say the cynicism, and Donald's playing on the cynicism. He lets the media echoes that he cannot be beat. You know what? Hoosiers can prove that wrong. The people of Indiana can prove that wrong. And the country is depending on Indiana. If Indiana does not act, this country could well plunge into the abyss. I don't believe that's who we are. We are not a proud, boastful, self-centered, mean-spirited, hateful, bullying nation. If you want to understand Donald Trump, look no further than the interview he did a few months ago in Iowa, when he was asked a very simple question. When's the last time you asked God for forgiveness? And Donald Trump said he had never asked God for forgiveness for anything.
Oh man, he's pulled on the God card. When you got to go there, that's when you know you're done.
I want you to think about that. What does that say about a person? I've asked God for forgiveness 3 times today. Think about your children. Do you want your children coming home and saying, Mommy, I don't need to ask God for forgiveness for anything? Why? Because Donald Trump doesn't, and if he doesn't, and everyone likes him, all the media praises him, I don't need to either.
What a
I love
joke.
this nation with all my heart. I love the people of this country. This is not who we are. These are not our values. If anyone has seen the movie Back to the Future 2, the screenwriter says that he based the character Biff Tannen on Donald Trump. A caricature of a braggadocious, arrogant buffoon who builds giant casinos with giant pictures of him everywhere he looks. We are looking, potentially, at the Biff Tannen presidency.
Whoa. I mean, absolute epic meltdown. This guy has pulled every card. I don't think that he left a card in the deck. He's pulled every card that he can, trying to talk people into not voting for Trump. And it's not going to work. That's only because nobody likes this guy. None of the senators that he worked with, other than Mike Lee, who's a prick, like this guy. The House of Representatives, Boehner basically called him Lucifer and a son of a bitch, which is absolutely right, because he was the one that led the country into the government shutdown, which cost us, what, $25 billion over bullshit. So, Ted, you're just getting a taste of your own, and after today, hopefully you will just wake up, smell the roses, and cut it out and let Trump get to wherever he's got to go, because it's going to be Trump and Clinton, and that's going to be epic as well.